Last year, I did two big High Court cases. The first one was for the Ngāti Takuihu, which was challenging the legality of the vaccine approval and vaccine rollout. And then we did the case, the no jab, no job case for the border workers, the aviation security workers, to say, okay, well, it's one thing that you've given provisional, conditional approval to a vaccine, but it's a completely different thing again to force people to take it, to coerce them, that if they don't take it, they'll lose their job. So those aviation security workers, they're the guys that work at the airport that check your bags before you get on the plane. Basically, they do a few other things, but that's their main job. So they were some of the first ones that got mandated. See, after that, we've had the teachers and the healthcare workers and the hospital, well, all of the hospital staff, the retirement homes, the corrections. Now we're getting into the police. We're getting into a whole lot of government departments. I think Ministry of Social Welfare and Development and ACC, and some of those are all getting the same kind of thing. And it's getting really interesting because a lot of them are not too happy because, for example, the ambulance drivers have rescued a lot of people that have had bad reactions to the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine. And so they're saying, well, hang on a minute, I don't want that vaccine. I'm fit and healthy already. I don't want to have it. The same with a lot of the hospital people and the ACC workers. They're saying the same. We are dealing with all these vaccine injury claims. We don't want to have it. So there's quite a growing momentum in the community talking about freedoms. And I love it. I love it how you talk about freedoms and opinions, because this is the thing that's been missing out of all of this conversation the last couple of years. People have been so scared. They've been scared to talk about what they believe and what their political beliefs are, what their religious beliefs are, what their
even
personal
censored,
beliefs are.
even censored, girl, even censored.
They're getting censored. And they're getting bullied if they speak out. I mean, since when did you bully somebody because they had a different view from you? The last I heard, that was called discrimination, and it was illegal. But now the kind of culture in government has really changed. And if you don't follow their narrative, you get bullied and you get outed and you get banished or you get complaints against you and all of these things that none of us ever thought could happen in New Zealand. So, you know, we've been doing the court cases, but the best thing about the court cases is that it raises awareness. It gets people talking about the things that they maybe were a little bit scared to talk about. And it's good that they talk, because if they've got questions, they need to find answers. And if they don't understand something, well, probably lots of other people don't understand it either. And the law is changing so fast. I mean, hey, I'm a lawyer and I often can't even keep up with the law changes. When we did some work for the aviation security workers, I think it was 14 times that the vaccination order had changed in just over 6 months. So, and then we get these, you know, lockdown orders, and it's level 3, it's level 2. It's traffic lights. Nobody knows even really what these traffic lights mean. I don't even think it's much different now than it was the other day, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So all of these questions we have, you know, it was always used to be that, yes, you have to follow the law, and ignorance of the law is no defense. But what if you can't even find out what the law is, because the law keeps changing so much, and the minister tells you something, and then his official tells you something else, and then the prime minister tells you something else? What is everybody supposed to do? So really my biggest thing now is just trying to talk to different groups of people and connect different groups of people together to realize that, no, we're not all stupid and we're not all scary people. We're just normal people that are trying to understand what the heck is going on.
Yeah,
so
totally agree.
You know,
and like I said, as you mentioned, for those that have just tuned into, you know, Sue and I's conversation, I mentioned this to our other guests. You know, they were so confused. They thought, why don't I just put it back to level 4 and just not leave my home? And you know, we were laughing about it, but the seriousness about this sort of corridor, everyone that's tuning in, is the fact that, you know, we still have our Bill of Rights, we still have human rights. And I've also you know, like I said, you know, everyone's entitled to opinion, and like everyone's different, and that, to me, that's our one source of truth. Is and I think people, as you mentioned before, so, you know, people forget that we have our own way of thinking, our own you know, our belief systems, you know, what we believe is right or wrong or whatever, and or, you know, but in saying that, you know, we can ask questions, and under democracy, people should be proactive in saying they're like going up to their, their local law society, or in regards of they're asking their local MP in regards of what can they do.
Yeah.
So my question is, I'm just hearing, because obviously you're quite busy, Sue, and from the last time we chatted, and say from 18 months to where we are now in 2022, what's been the lead up towards of your mahi, towards of seeing something go through?
What the lead up to where we are now? The thing now, that at the start, I was really scared of COVID, okay? We were some of the first people to say close the country. When I first found out about it, and it sounded like, half the people that were getting sick in Wuhan in China were dying. It's like, this is a terrible, terrible disease. But the whole trend over time is, as we get more information, actually, it's not nearly so scary as we thought. And now even the Ministry of Health say the most likely symptoms are the same symptoms of a common cold.